COVID-19 pandemic chronology video. Making sure it's set up all right. Yep. COVID-19 pandemic chronology video, and today I will be reflecting on 1 January 2021. What was that day? That day was, well, it was the start of a new year, January 1, 2021, and it was, in 2020 I had done a bunch of writing, photographing, videoing for just everyday life, for Yelp. I'd been doing YouTubing, less of me on screen on my video. And so I was like, well, that's something that I kind of, by the end of 2020, I was like, that'd be something to work on in 2021. So it was kind of like, okay, there's an overarching something that kind of that I can work on this year, 2021, kind of thing. And I was like, what's something I can do as a pastime? So something to kind of like a leisure activity, so to speak, that I enjoy. And so I was going through my closet and I found this. This is my Nintendo Game Boy Color in neon green, because for much of my life, neon green has been my favorite color. My favorite color is green, but specifically neon green. And so, I don't know if you've seen one of these before, but they make sound. And then it turns on. And then there's an intro and stuff. And so what is that I was showing you? It is Pokemon Silver version. So, which came out a while ago, but I played it a lot growing up. I had Silver version and I had Blue version. These were mine. There were, when I played it, even before they kind of took a hiatus in making these things, there was blue, red, silver, and gold. My sister got red and gold, and I got blue and silver. We purposefully, so my granddad is colorblind. My sister and I are not. So my mom's dad is colorblind. My sister and I are not. And part of the colors, how we separated them out, was so that the colors would not get mixed up. So we purposefully, like if Lindsay and I had both had blue or both had red, we would not, like, it'd be harder to tell whose is whose. And we didn't want to mark them up on like the discs, if you want to call them that, packages, so to speak. We didn't want to mark them up on this beautiful piece itself. So So our parents were like, you guys have to choose. There's red and there's blue, and you guys get to choose. And so I think for the red and blue, I got to choose. I chose blue, and so Lindsay got red. And then for the next batch, for the silver and gold, which I now have both. This is my sister's. She gave it to me. I'll get there. Lindsay got to choose first, and she chose gold, and I got silver. So we each got the first pick. I got blue and she got gold, which I would have chosen silver anyway, but the point is we both got to choose first once. And so, and this is mine. She had I think hers was purple. So she had a purple Game Boy Color, and this is the original one I had. And still have is green. And so Lindsay, how did I get this one? Well, Lindsay gave it to me on loan. And she and her husband, in 2020, so before I thought of this, they had been playing Game Boy when quarantine and everything when everything kind of got shut down for us in Washington State in March, in like the King County area, March 2020, they started playing a bunch of Pokemon on their Game Boys, and they would play like 50 to 60 hours a week of Pokemon on their Game Boys. And so they were talking about it, and they were like, you know what? It's just as fun, if not more fun. And so on like 1 January 2021, I was like, I could do this. I could do this. It's fun, but maybe it's not the right one. I don't know. Why didn't I have red? I was like, and then I got thinking about, I had a memory digression. And what was the memory digression? I'm missing, so of the 4, red, blue, silver, gold, I'm missing red because my sister got it and I didn't go back and buy it later in life. And red, so this is like Squirtle. This is, I chose blue because of Squirtle. And then with the red one, there's Charmander. I'm choosing the smallest, youngest Pokemon level, if I'm recalling correctly. It's been a while since I've played these. And so my sister got the dragon, Charmander, and I went on this memory digression of, oh my gosh, UC Berkeley! And one of my friends at an office mate, so my first year at the University of California, Berkeley, I shared an office with I was one of 4 people to share an office, and there were 3 other people in my office. I had the desk with covers over it, and the desk was on this wall, and I was facing this way, and on these sides of me were like windows and doors, and through the windows and doors was a balcony, and it looked out over the main quad of the campus, and so it was very, very beautiful. Kind of like the best office in the building, potentially the best office on campus, like in terms of, we actually had a balcony, like a private balcony. You had to be in the office to be like, and so that kind of thing. And so a private balcony as in like the office is on it and got access to it. And we did not have to use it for a fire. We were located on not the ground floor, but 1 story up. The ground floor was a library. So yeah, earth sciences and maps and geography, stuff like that. Library, and which was very convenient when I needed to check out books or look at maps. And like geology maps and topography maps and stuff like that. And topography, mathematicians might, okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And so we had this office, and there were 9 of us my first year, and I had an office mate who actually was one of we shared an apartment before I quit my job and moved back in with my parents. So he was not only somebody I shared an office with my first year at the University of California, Berkeley, as a PhD student. So we there were 9 of us in my class that entered and started our PhDs all at the same time in autumn of 2015. And one of my office mates was named Alex Charn. And so I came up with a nickname for him, Charmander, and the choice of that nickname was inspired by Charmander, and specifically the red version of one of these, because that's kind of where Charmander entered the physical realm of the house. So yeah, so all of the people in my office had nicknames. So there was me, I don't remember what, Tan or something. I don't actually remember. He was Tan. And then there was Alex Charm, who was Charmander, Isabel Fenley, who was Izzy, and then Luke Fairchild, whose nickname, we were like, okay, it has to start with an L or an F, so tie it to his name like that. And he studied rock magnetism, and like geomagnetism and stuff. And so we nicknamed him after the minerals that are magnetic and studied in geology for rock magnetism. So there's ferromagnetic minerals / materials. So we nicknamed him Pharaoh, Ferro. And we thought that was kind of clever because it sounds like Pharaoh, as in like the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, but that's not what it is whatsoever. It's the prefix to ferromagnetic. So geology joke. And then we had an honorary fifth member of our office, Jinsul Kim, who we nicknamed Noxie, and it had a particular spelling. So capital N, capital O, where the N stands for nitrogen, the O stands for oxygen, the X is a little x because she was an atmospheric scientist, and in atmospheric science, nitrogen, oxygen, little x is a compound that is chemical compound that is important in atmospheric chemistry and dynamics, or at least atmospheric chemistry. So we were like, oh, we should do Nox. That one was partially inspired by, I had a dog named Roxy, like Roxy the Doxy, and so it was Noxy. And so there was Noxy, who was Jinsul Kim. And so those were my office mates. So this was the beginning. I think we'll see if I can make it through the full digression. And this is a recall exercise of reflecting on that day and how I managed to remember this. And see, it's over a year and a half later, seeing if I can remember the mental digression I made that day. So there were 9 of us that started. So those are 5 of the people. But each of us, because there were 9 of us and we were all entering our PhDs together and we all wanted to make it through together, and did not happen. And I'll go through each of us. We dubbed ourselves the Fellowship, inspired by Lord of the Rings. So assigned each of us a role in the Fellowship. So let's see. There was Luke Fairchild of the United States of America. And he was, who was he? Dang, Faramir? Boromir? I don't remember. Oh my god. Okay, next. I don't actually remember everybody who's in the Fellowship. That's okay. It's gonna be the person I forget who's in the Fellowship. Yes. Okay. This is great. Okay. There's something I've forgotten. It might have been Faramir. No, but Faramir wasn't part of the original Fellowship. Ooh. Okay, that's bad. Okay. There's one. Isabel Fenley was Samwise Gamgee. Alex Charnader.